Welcome back to the fourth segment. You're still with me, Fabian Narcis and Alex Yoong. Thank you for watching Bernama today. Now, we were at the motorsports earlier, and let's go on straight to a bit of water skiing. Something that I have no clue whatsoever about. I've seen people do it. I would love to try it, but you know, there are places in Puchong where there's a lake that people do water skiing, right? But Alex, you know, since you're into this, your family's into this, both sisters are into it, right? Yeah. You know, tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, well, like you mentioned, you know, Puchong had a place. The mines had a place.
Oh, okay.
Has a place. I actually learned to water ski at the mines.
Okay.
And Puchajaya. Puchajaya for a few years.
The lake
has a very good water ski center near the Pullman Hotel, and that's where I do most of my skiing. Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, I water skied as a teenager. I did do the SEA Games in '97, which I managed a silver medal. And I remember my sister, my 2 years younger than me sister, she won a gold in slalom. And my sister restarted skiing again because there was more facilities to do that. Right. In I think 2009 or 2008, and introduced our younger sister, who's now only 9, into the sport. Right. And so Pippa and I, Pippa's been badgering me to try and get into water skiing again. So I remember 6 months before SEA Games, I said, okay, let's try it out. It's back into SEA Games. It'd be fun to try and do it. And it went really well. I didn't expect it to go so well. I think maybe the new equipment suits me or whatever, and I managed to win a gold. For overall, which was great. Pippa did a good job. I think she won 2 golds and a silver. And little Aliyah, our little sister, won a gold as well. Wow. And she's actually amazing. I mean, Pippa and I, we've been skiing for a while, but we are. I mean, Pippa's proper Asian level. I'm not really quite Asian level, but our little sister Leah, she's going to be world class. She's really very exceptional. So it's been fantastic. So we have quite a few young skiers coming through the ranks, from as young as 6 to as old as 13. Right. So I think the future for water skiing for Malaysia looks pretty strong. Right. So we have this development team. We have a national coach and a proper team. We do. I mean, actually, the mom of my sister's a national coach. Oh, right. So she looks after that. So she's actually injured this year. She had a cracked vertebrae from water skiing. So she's actually resting for the next few months. But that doesn't mean she's not doing anything. No. So she's at the lake now. I think later this morning, doing some coaching and. Right. Yeah. So water skiing has been like part of your life when you were young, or you know, when you got into this while you are still a speed demon. Well, no. I got into it as a filler to before I started motor racing. Motor racing was always a game plan, but back then we had no go-karting scene. So I started motor racing at 16, 17, like that, driving Proton Sagas, which is not ideal development if you want to go to Formula 1. You know, I wouldn't even look at a young driver coming through the ranks if he showed me that CV. Wouldn't even consider him. He would need to have started go-karting at 8, 9, 10, and had many years of go-karting, and go-karting in Europe, proper competitive go-karting, before we'd even consider him. But back then we didn't have that option, so we just, you know, we had no idea. So we thought, well, I have to wait until I get tall enough to fit into a race car. Right. So I think Father recognized we had a lot of pent-up energy and wanted to get us out of the house. So. He started us water skiing, you know. There was, and then, like I said, we started at the mines when the water level was all the way down. Yeah. And it was great. I loved it. It's probably the toughest sport I ever know. It's a bit like it's like combining wrestling with golf. It's very easy to mess up a golf swing. It's very easy to mess up a skiing style. Oh, okay. So that was really good for me, but I loved it, you know. And but once I got big enough for racing, that's where I went. That's okay. Are there enough people out there that knows about these water skiing facilities? Are they only available here in the Klang Valley, or you know, it's available? There are enough people that I think are starting to be aware of it. Wakeboarding's certainly taking off. Wakeboarding, yes, that's right. In a big way. Water skiing and wakeboarding is still a bit expensive at the moment because we're trying to do it behind a boat. And there's a much cheaper alternative, which is cable skiing. Yeah. Where you do it on a cable park. Okay. And hopefully we'll have one of those here soon, because that's a very cheap way to go wakeboarding and enjoy yourself. Right. So how much would a session roughly cost? I mean, give and take, you're doing it. It depends on where you go. I mean, if you wanted Let's talk about Putrajaya. If you wanted to book out a boat for an hour, and depending what sort of boat it is, where it is, whether it's from Port Dickson to Putrajaya, it can go from, I don't know, something like 100 to about $300 an hour. So you need to try and share that with a few kids, few people. You can't ski for an hour. It's impossible.
Definitely, yeah.
So you share it, and that's how it works.
Right. Is the development of the sport happening in other states as well, or is it only here now?
To be honest, I'm not sure.
You're not sure? You haven't gone out of wherever we...
There is a little bit going on, but no, not that much.
Right, because you know why in Bukit Mentajam you have the Mengkong Dam, which is pretty much empty. No one does
That'd
anything.
Be perfect.
It's a water. Well, it's a place where people keep the water, just in case all the rainwater stores there. But I was just wondering, if this sport could go flying in the next few years with your younger sister coming up and your other sister.
It could. I really would like to see some cable parks here, because that's a much cheaper way to get people skiing. It could do. I mean, we got all these tin mines and, of course, these reservoirs. Exactly. It is absolutely fine to ski in reservoirs. I mean, we ski in a reservoir in Singapore because as long as the boat's in a good condition, there's never any leakage. And actually, the churning of the propeller actually oxygenates the water very well.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about Formula One. We won't go too deep because I'm very surface.
Me too.
Surface. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the tyre issue, right? There have a lot of crashes this season, and it's blamed on the Pirelli guys. Now Michelin is coming back and say, "Hey, we are talking to Bernie Ecclestone and your team, and you're not responding to us." So, what's your take on this?
Well, as far as I know, Pirelli has a contract for next year, so I don't think that Michelin story will happen. Yep. But yeah, Pirelli have had a really tough time. They've had a lot of failures, but they've addressed the issue. They've sorted out the tyres. It's very difficult to get it right because there's no in-season testing, so they can't develop tyres to the cars so well. So it's a lot of stabbing in the dark. But I think they're on top of the issue, and it shouldn't be a problem anymore.
Right, I just want to ask you, right, Alex, you were driving the Minardi. When you were there, you had quite a bit of gearbox problems. Now, those problems are, of course, rectified there and then. Are the technology being passed down to production cars these days? I mean, from what has happened for all this while, the Renault engines or the engines, are the technology passed down to production cars?
Well, it takes a while because obviously the cost. Well, some can be very fast. Like ABS was developed in Formula One, and that came down very quickly. Active ride suspension came quite
traction control.
Traction control to a certain extent, yes. But like for example, the gearboxes. We actually had this technology for great gearbox shifting for 10 years now, and only now am I really seeing it on sports cars now, where the gearbox is actually a proper gear change. So it's interesting to see that they took so long to implement it, because I think it was very costly.
You're talking about the double gear thing, right? Where another gear is engaged while the first gear is already in.
That, but also just the quickness of the shift, just trying to make the shift quicker. That's been around for a while. But back to the big difference back to when I was doing it to now is that the systems that they've got in place are much better.
Right.
The technology was always there, but maybe the systems of looking after the quality of what's going on wasn't quite there. So we had a lot of failures, not just in my team, but all the other teams. So they've implemented aerospace systems and management into it, and that's why there's practically no failures now.
Right. Now, just before we go, we have another minute. Just go something very personal. Of all the cars you've driven, all the cars you've tested, which is your favorite?
A road car?
A road car, production car, the ones that we can buy off the shelf.
I'm loving the Audi R8,
R8.
Yeah.
I heard about the fuel efficiency, it's very good.
Yeah, I mean Audi, I think they're a leader in that. But I do really love the look of the car, and it's great fun to drive.
And what are you driving today?
Am I driving today? No, I brought my people carrier.
My
MPV, because obviously I'm going to go see my son later.
Right. Okay, I'm just wondering what you are driving and all that. Being a sports guy and racing and all that, probably would like to have a cool car on the road as well.
Some drivers do. I don't think I fall into that category. I'm very much, it's all about function. So I love my MPV.
Right. Thank you very much, Alex, for joining me on the show. Half an hour is a long time to go on air and talk about all this.
I enjoyed it.
But yeah, we went through it. Stay tuned, because we have the Malay News up next right here on Bernama Today. And of course, if you want to know more interviews like this and rerun this interview, you can check it out on our Facebook page on a later date. Thank you.
Thank you.